Hello and welcome to Toe to Toe Extra. I'm Andy Scott and I'm joined by two former WBO world champions, different sizes, depends how far away you're sitting. Barry Jones, Joseph Parker. Joe, great to see you.
See you.
Hope you had a good festive period.
It was great, fantastic. I had a good time.
A festive period you spent in
I
training,
had a great time training and eating very good, healthy food. It was the best.
Yes, yeah.
At least one of us did. At least one of us did. The reason is you're back 21st against Jack Massey. Dangerous fight. You're looking to get back on the comeback trail after the Joe Joyce defeat. How do you feel coming into this one?
I am just happy to lock in a fight for the beginning of this year, and I'm grateful to Jack Massey for stepping up and taking this fight and coming to the heavyweight division, and I'm going to give him a very warm welcoming to the division.
Someone that you know that you've seen in the gym, but you haven't actually sparred with him at all. What are the dangers of questions to the both of you? What are the dangers of a cruiserweight coming up to heavyweight? A little bit of the unknown, perhaps?
I think it's the unknown, what weight he'll come in. But he's a very tough come-forward fighter, and he wants to make a statement in front of his home crowd. Like, he's from Manchester, that area, so he wants to put on a good performance. But I'm just going to say, hey, Jack, just stop right there.
Hit the road, Jack.
Hit the road, Jack.
Stole my line. You stole my line.
I think that I think with you tend to think speed straight away, but I think Joe's quite a fast. Joe here is quite a fast fighter anyway. But it's volume, I think, with cruiserweight. He's got the naturally smaller guys, and Jack is a busy fighter, so I think that's something that's going to be an adjustment with when you're used to boxing bigger, heavier guys who are, throwing in 2s and 3s. You've got a guy here who will throw
5 and 6,
or he might throw in 3s, but they'll be in 3 blocks.
Yeah,
he'll go again. There'll be 3 phases of attacks. I think that's the thing you have to be wary of. But still, I think what you and Andy Lee were training for the Joe Joyce fight. That. You've been physically stronger, sitting down on your punches more. Yeah. Might actually pay dividends more for this fight than it did for that fight. Yeah.
Well, let's bring in some of the highlights from your career so far. Just want to get you to talk over the pictures that you can see here. Not looking too much younger. Not aged badly, Joe. Not aged badly. Just talk us through. This was back home in New Zealand when you were on the way up.
Back home in New Zealand, Jason Pittaway, and the fight stopped early. This is when I just didn't really, when you're fighting people who there's a different level. When it's top class, you have to take your time and break them down. Yeah. When it's guys that you're meant to be beating, you go in there and you're a bit more reckless.
That's a scary knockout.
But even though you're meant to do it, you still got to do it.
You still got to.
It's on the plate for you. You've still got to do the work.
It's in front of you, but imagine if you go in there, you're supposed to do it, or you don't do it.
Yeah.
Then it's a big telltale. This is Bowie Tupu, and then this is Carly Meehan in Auckland. I was able to get him with a good shot, and it's good.
How do you feel that you're a different fighter now compared to then?
It's I think with now, just with everything that I've learned along the way, training-wise, sometimes I was overtrained in a lot of the fights.
Yeah.
Also, wasn't eating correctly.
Peaking
at the wrong time, but also just I think I'm a lot more mature and smarter in the way that I train and looking after my body rather than smashing it or getting out of shape and then trying to get it into shape.
Sure.
How do you reflect on the AJ night in the stadium? Would you have done things differently?
Listen, every fight you always look back and think I could have done this differently, I could have done that, but I've accepted it, and if it ever comes in future fighting again, I know I have to be more aggressive and not be so defensive.
What about fighting this fight then again?
Dillian Whyte, listen, that's the one fight that I would like to fight again. This fight, and it's like I respect Dillian Whyte, what he's done in his boxing career. But we had a great first fight. I love to back it up and
this was incredible. Watching it back is like a movie.
It was a good fight, wasn't it? It really was.
Listen, he's done very well since then, and I've done okay. But it would be nice if I could get past Jack Massey in good fashion. I would love the opportunity to fight Dillian Whyte again.
What would your message be to him then?
To Dillian Whyte, watch out, because I'm going to come for you.
That's your priority.
That's if I could make any fight in the world. Obviously, the Jack Massey fight's in front of me, but if I could make any other fight, Dillian Whyte is who I would like to fight.
Mind if I ask you? You've been to the very top, and now you're not at the top. You're 8 and 10 with 2 of the governing bodies.
Yep.
Is that uncomfortable for you looking back up, knowing that you still feel that you deserve to be top of the tree? I
feel I deserve, but I have to show that I deserve to be there. not just say I deserve to be there and think because I've already been there, I should be.
Yeah,
still
they're
be
on
there.
merit. Yeah.
No, I have to work my way back up to the top, and I'm fine with that because I know where I am now. I got beaten by a good man, Joe Joyce, very tough man, and I'm here now. But I want to be there, so I want to work my way up again.
Do you see Joseph? I mean, I want to word this correctly because he's closer than I thought he would be. But like, yeah, he's too close now. But in that chasing pack of the next tier down of heavyweights outside of Fury, Usyk, probably those two are out on their own, aren't they?
Those two are out on their own, and I think I think you got to put Joshua's see how Joshua goes, but Joshua and Wilder there, and Joyce has joined that pack of those three below. And then there's Joe and
Hrgovic.
Yeah, but you have to say with experience, Hrgovic got maybe a bit of a touch in his last fight. So is he quite ready yet? Joe, I think what's important for Joe, because he's been a world champion, he's a marketable fighter. We should just show some of the highlight reels there. He's been in some fantastic fights. We know him as well, certainly in the UK. He just needs to look good in his next fight or two. Look good, get a good performance. And and I think him and Dillian Whyte's a great fight to me because stylistically it's a war. Does Dillian have more miles on the clock than Joe? Maybe. So this is a fight where if you can get a stoppage against someone like
Dillian Whyte, that'll be.
Yeah, that's Dillian Whyte. So I said Dillian Whyte is the fight. I think that's the fight. If you can get Jack Massey out of the way, and that's not.
Yeah, listen, Jack Massey's probably watching this going.
Yeah, keep talking.
Oh,
yeah.
Of course he is, but you have to just talk about pure facts. He's coming up in weight, so he's going to be the underdog, and that's how clear how it is. But if you can get a good win and look good, and then get it, and then get in a good fight and a good win against Dillian Whyte, it's no easy task, as you know yourself. Then you're right back in the mix.
Right back in the mix.
Right, yeah, against anybody.
Yeah.
And in your division more than any other, I said it before about Jared Tejora in about 2015. I said this: you can recycle a heavyweight till his legs fall off. And it's true, because your division is one good win puts you right back.
And you just have to be in that spot when the title becomes available, or when you're the next person in line who's free to fight. You get the world title shot, just like you said, Derek Chisora.
And your commitment to staying over here, training over here, giving up your Christmas and so on, all that, and away from your family, which is I couldn't do it. I couldn't do that, and that shows a willingness, and I think people will adhere to that because people love to see people sacrifice. for their ambitions, and you
goals,
do.
Yeah.
What did you make of Dillian Whyte's last fight against Jermaine Franklin?
I thought it was a tough fight, close fight. And
a fight that you thought he won or that he didn't win?
I didn't watch the whole fight. I watched the highlights, so I can't really.
I'm putting you on the spot there.
I can't really. I watched the highlights.
I thought he did enough to win. It was a close fight.
He landed the more, bigger shots from what I saw.
I just think the way Dillian fights, because he's so committed to his attacks, that's what's made him good. It made him dangerous. It made him a success he's been. But when you lose a little bit of a step. Remember we talked about, when you've talked before about keeping your shape and doing the basics really well as a heavyweight.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that core base of keeping your hands high, throwing straight shots. So what works for him when you're young and fit and fresh, when you start getting miles on the clock, those things just become vulnerabilities more than they become assets.
Yeah. So
the first time you box Dillian, he's hitting you in the back of the head, hitting you everywhere, he's hurt you every shot he hits you with, he commits to. But if he's lost a step or two, he's squaring his feet up and come back with the left hook. It used to be dangerous. Now he's a target to hit.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's the case, but that's what happens sometimes. And I think with Franklin, he maybe just showed a little bit that he haven't got the zest that he had before. A few years back. Yeah.
What do you think you've learnt about yourself since that first fight?
What I learned about myself, when it gets hard, I can push through.
Hell yeah, with that first fight.
That first fight. So I do have heart and I do have mental toughness, but just got to work on more the boxing side of things. And there was no trouble with fitness. So I was fit in that fight to go to 12 rounds.
Just finally then, don't want to do Jack Massey down at all, but you're going to sit here and be confident that you get past Jack. How do you map the rest of the year out for you at the moment? How many times do you want to fight? How quickly do you want to get back?
I'd like to fight Jack and put on a great fight for everyone that's going to come to watch, and also people back home. And I'm respecting Jack that much that I'm treating this like a championship of the world. I'm putting in everything I can, eating clean, training hard, all recovery, everything. And if I can get past Jack and look well doing so, I want to fight 3 or 4 times this year if I can, and if Boxing Sky can help me with that, it'll be awesome. I think keep busy, and if you keep busy, you're learning along the way, and you're progressing, and you're getting better, and also you're climbing the ladder of getting higher ranked.
Yeah. Well, I can only speak from a broadcaster point of view, but it's always great having you on the platform, always great having you on the channel, and always in entertaining fights. So I'm sure that this one will be no different on the 21st. So thank you for coming down and visiting us, and we'll see you a couple of weeks' time.
See you soon.
Definitely. Barry,
Happy New Year's.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well. Happy New Year. Make sure you join us next week for more Toe to Toe Extra.
Sky Sports. Feel it all.